Jen's like, you freaking nerds. All right, Jen, this might actually suit you. So the last podcast we didn't really go into this, but Enway has now officially announced that they're working on a brand new Power Rangers fighting game that's coming to console. So it's going to be coming to Steam, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. And we'll have cross multiplayer. This is coming from exactly, and this is coming from DualShock. DualShock had announced that they had talked to Enway, and apparently Enway is going to be having a brand new story. They're developing a brand new story. They're discussing the console and everything like that. Some of the questions were from the Jesse Cherry, who is the one of the heads at Enway. When asked, was Battle of the Grid built from the ground up for console, or was it enhanced for mobile ports? He said it is made for the ground up. They then asked him, how does developing Battle of the Grid as a console game differ from developing the mobile game? He had said that there's a lot of similarities and more and more nowadays. But for us, this game is not free to play. We are doing it. We're doing it up front, and that's a big change. It's far more focused on that movement and moment gameplay. Even though that was super important for us in Legacy War, when you're on the phone, you will always want to give the players something to do. If they're picking that game 20, 30 times a day, they always need to blah, 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 whatever. They also asked, are there any aspects of the mobile development past that will be carried over? He said, I'd say things we learned about matchmaking. So they will be a little more, what's the word? X-Force? They'll have a little more leeway when it comes to matchmaking in the game and the stuff. And you can read more about this on DualShock.com. But I'm gonna ask the Power Ranger fans up in here. So, Boken, thoughts?
Well, I'm happy that Nintendo Switch is getting some attention. That we're getting a Power Rangers game, especially finally. Especially since like this weekend, tomorrow, I'm finally getting my Kamen Rider game that I hope to do some streaming on my channel. But please follow and subscribe. I'm just kidding.
Get that plug in. Get that plug in, bro.
Get the plug in. Yeah.
Say it right now. Your plug.
TV/Boken Kabuto. It's spelled the same way except all lowercase. Yeah. What the one thing that concerns me most is actually two things. One, gameplay, and two, roster. Because my issues with Legacy War specifically is like the way the gameplay works. The swipe left, swipe right, rock paper scissors thing. It's very irritating and very repetitive. And sometimes your hits land, sometimes they don't. And I like some consistency in terms of combat, so I hope it's more like Street Fighters or Mortal Kombat or like Climax Heroes. Something like if it's a fighting game, like I want it to feel more natural as a fighting game. If it's an RPG, make it like Final Fantasy or Pokemon, whatever.
I would stream
Fire
it
Emblem. And then there's the other issue, roster. I hope it's a rich roster with characters from across different seasons. I'm not a fan of having the comic book and OVA exclusive characters like Ranger and that Pink Hunter Ranger, whatever her name is.
Ranger Slayer.
Yeah, Slayer. Yeah, and I'm more focused on the actual TV show, the continuity of the TV show, and I don't want to sacrifice slots of like great characters like Dominic or RJ or Flynn from RPM for like characters that are like not in the TV show.
Well, real quick, to be fair, they did say that a lot of the what's going on in Power Rangers in the Power Rangers comics, a lot of it is canon. I think they did confirm that Tommy's son is canon to the Power Ranger story.
Well, the thing is, Tommy's son is. I accept Tommy's son being canon because, because he was mentioned in Dimensions in Danger. Like whether or not he's gonna become SPD Green, that I'm gonna leave up to like the TV show people to make. Like me, like I like to consider like things like of different media to be different continuities, and stuff. Like Shattered Grid, I guess, like if you're because like they're doing the whole multiple dimension thing with multiple realities, but like as far as the comics are concerned, I want to keep them separate from the actual TV show. Like if they bring it up in the TV show, I'll consider it as part of the TV canon, because it's like as much as I love the Batman animated series more than the Batman comics personally, I don't consider Batman the animated series to be canon with the comic books. Two separate continuities.
Okay.
You can like both continuities. I have no problem with that. But you know, like, but with that said, like, I hope that like the game does give more attention to, like, at least add more focus to the characters from the TV shows, and not like sacrifice those slots for characters from from the comics and the OVAs, like Rearranger. Like, honestly, like, for me, Street Fighter's kind of ruined Legacy Wars.
No, I agree on that. Now Jen might shoot you for saying that because she loves Ryu, but yeah, I do agree with you on that. I said straight up, I understand why they did it, marketing and money. I mean, if you're gonna sell out, you better sell out to Capcom. But like, I do understand why they did the whole Power Ranger Street Fighter crossover, which honestly I think would have been better in comic books instead of a video game, especially on mobile gaming. But
know, right?
that's just me. But yeah, real quick, Jen, what's your thoughts on this?
There's so much I would say, but you know, I like what you talked about on Boken. Not so much of, you know, you wanted to do more of the TV show, and I do agree with that. I actually do like that they have, like, hopefully the game is, like, you know, based on the TV show and they keep the originality and personality. But at the same time, I like it if it was linked with the comics, because like that would be cool if like Shattered Grid was you know, within the storyline. I'm really excited because Power Rangers Legacy Wars, it's a good game, but like you kind of have to spend money to get better, and like
that's another issue I have with that game.
Yeah, my problem with, like, I play Legacy Wars and I feel kind of discouraged because it's like you need money to play it, and like I know it's a free game, but it's like those little, what are those called? Those little boxes.
Gold Ranger.
Loot boxes.
Yeah, like, you know, those boxes, and like you don't know what you're getting, and I don't like that. I don't like that type of, like, you know, game that they're playing. Like, what's up with that? And it's a mobile game, yada yada yada, but like,
Yeah, and because of the mechanics, like, you don't even know if your land's hit or not. Like, that's one of my issues with, like, it's supposed to be a fighting game, but all you do is swipe left, swipe right, and choose rock, paper, scissors.
Dash kick.
Yeah, and look, I'm not against, you know, like introducing the comic book characters, like, little by little, like in small increments, as long as, you know, they give that special attention to, like, the TV show characters, because like, we got the Street Fighters. I mean, at least to my memory, we got all the Street Fighters, and we got Lord Draken, and the movie versions of the characters before we got, like, anyone from Lightspeed Rescue. I don't remember anyone from RPM being in the roster, and the only Jungle Fury character we got was Daishi.
Okay, so you have not played the game in a while. The Titanium Rangers in the game now. Gemma from RPM's in the game.
I'm still waiting for a red dino charge.
Koda's in the
put that
game.
in there.
And I know the Yellow Ranger from Hyperforce is in the game as well, and they put the Magna Defender in there as well.
Okay.
But
they already had Magna Defender when I left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like one of the earlier DLCs.
All right, so I'm gonna say this one because this is what makes me interested about the game, and this is and I'm probably gonna speak for myself and GC. So this is supposed to be a fighting game, and I know Hasbro's publishing the game. Hasbro's had a decent track record when it comes to their video games. I mean, like, the Transformers games, War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, were spectacular games. I think they helped worked on the Transformers game that Platinum Games developed, that hack and slash one. What's up? What were you saying, Ken?
Oh, sorry. Like, Reckless brought up Platinum, and I'm like, if Platinum's working on it, then I am 90% sold right there.
No, they're not working on it.
Platinum is worked on Bayonetta, right?
Yes, they did. Yes,
Okay.
they did. But I mean, and also, I mean, they had their hiccups. I mean, the Transformers tie-in games and stuff, they were trash, obviously. But I do believe that Hasbro can help publish a really good, solid fighting game. My question is, if this game, like, how are the mechanics going to be? Because we only saw a little bits and pieces in the trailer. I'm actually interested on how the game's going to play. Because if they have, like, the assist characters and stuff like that, I think it kind of borrows from, like, Marvel 2 and, like, Skullgirls and stuff like that. And a big thing that I want to know is if this game is big enough, like, let's say it does get very popular, because the game comes out in April. If it does get very popular, what's going to happen? Like, will it be put in EVO? Would this game be super legit to the point where you put it in other fighting game tournaments? And I think that's the one question I think anyone who's not just a Power Ranger fan, but also a fan of fighting games like myself and GC, that's where my curiosity lies in. I want to know if this game can make it to EVO, if it can make it to CEO, hell, if it can make it to E3.
Anyway,
And it's also good because we can't let Power Rangers be obsolete.
Yeah.
No.
is it really
I don't know if
obsolete?
you heard about that rumor, but yeah.
No,
Is it really
It's-
obsolete in your opinion?
it's not obsolete. It's not obsolete, but well, I know why she's saying that because YouTube. All right, for those who want to know, YouTube legit was on some other shenanigans saying to anyone in the Power Ranger community who makes fan films or like a fan series of Power Rangers I'm paraphrasing, don't waste your time doing it because it's not popular. And I'm like, nigga, are you serious? Like, nigga, do you know how many people love watching Power Ranger fan films? I mean, let's just face it. Like, one of the most popular fan films was that one that ID Shinkar, the nigga who made the Castlevania.
The one I wrote a paper on.
Yeah, the rated R Power Rangers fan film. That was one of the most popular Power Ranger fan films. Jen and I, we have a homie from another YouTube channel, shouts to Geeks East LA. The majority of stuff he does,
shouting us out as well.
Yeah, the majority of things he does are Power Ranger fan films and fan series that are very, very good and have very high quality.
Keep in mind, Pink Mega Force Ranger got 45 million views and it's 50 seconds.
Exactly.
So you guys know.
And they work with a lot of people in the who are Power Ranger actors and actresses who just finished. You had Brandon Mejia, you had Ciara Hanna, you had
Yeah, my friend Carlos was in the video with those two.
Exactly.
So you basically have people who knows the ins and outs of it already.
Yes, you have you have Power Rangers has such a dedicated community, and honestly, one of the best fandoms and best communities because honestly, Boken, as much like Boken Kabuto or not, he likes a lot more of the Sentai and the Kamen Rider, but we agree on a lot of things when it comes to Power Rangers. Like we can agree to disagree on a lot of things, but either way, we're still gonna be homies. Boken Kabuto's my nigga, okay? No matter what happens. So and you can't really say that a lot about other communities like Overwatch and Star Wars and stuff like that. Like Power Rangers is such a dedicated and such a heartwarming fan base that honestly, I think YouTube is on some real other F-boy stuff if they really think that the fandom is dead. I'm like, no man, the Power Ranger Power Ranger Super Sentai and any tokusatsu henshin series that has a dedicated fan base that does make fan films, it's still alive and kicking, fam.
So yeah, you know what? I hope this game revives the fandom.
It's not even gonna revive it. It's more like I hope this game accentuates, and I hope it does stick it to the people at YouTube who really do believe that
Anyways,
the fandom's dead. Go ahead, yeah.
If it's going to be a fighting game, what kind of fighting game do you want it to be? Do you want it to be a 2D fighter or a 3D fighter?
Well, from what it looked like in the trailer, it looks like it could be a 2D fighting game. I'm not sure, but hopefully it is. If we're talking about game,
I want it as a 3D fighting game personally. That's going to be difficult.
Yeah,
only Tekken got it right so far.
Well, Virtual Fighter did too.
Sorry, go ahead.
Where's Virtual Fighter now?
Thank you. If Hasbro could get a could actually get a team up with Bandai Namco. They could probably use the same engine that Kamen Rider Climax Fighters is using if we want to have like a 3D fighting game, like in a 3D environment, and maybe even add some story elements to it if we wanted to. And actually, that would be interesting if you start with a base number of characters, like say 8, like in Smash, and like they had their own individual story modes, and in those you unlock other characters, like in the respective story modes.
That's actually a really good idea. To be fair, I have never seen the Kamen Rider game. I actually, if you're streaming it soon, I will check it out. But yeah, like if I were to say what kind of gameplay or like game mechanics, I would like to see some in the lines of like not like maybe like a Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or maybe like Rival Schools from the PlayStation in the PlayStation era or something like that. Or hell, I can easily see them doing Guilty Gear XRD.
Oh.
Huh.
I agree with the Guilty Gear stuff. But by the way, what happened? They actually went with all the hardcore mechanics and such, like the parry system and the focus tech from Street Fighter on top of it.
Then you might as well give them the same the gameplay and game mechanics from Capcom vs SNK. If that's the case, just give the Power Rangers a groove system. Like the Mighty Morphin series is the C groove. That's your Street Fighter Alphas, your regular Street Fighters where you have to build up the gauge.
That's another thing I would like to see worked on. Like if they actually made this possible, like if you could actually do like a full 5-man team mechanic, like you could play as a solo character, or like you could have like the other 4 Rangers as assist or rotation sort of thing.
Something like Skullgirls.
And if you do multiplayer online, you could assemble a full team to go on missions with.
No. I got one. If we're talking about having online multiplayer for because Power Rangers Battle of the Grids will have online multiplayer. What I would like to see in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, there's a really cool mechanic for online multiplayer where you and 2 other friends pick your own characters. You go online, you fight 3 other different people, and it's a tag team system where I'm like, tag me in, dude, tag me in. Tag
that's
it.
what I mean.
That I would love. Get 5-man team. Yo, Enway. If you're,
That's gonna be complicated.
Enway, if you listen to this, this is Reckless Fox of the ScrubClub Gaming Podcast and Boken Kabuto. We would love to sit down and talk to you. We know this game comes out in April, but if you need some pointers for online multiplayer, we're the guys to talk to. So again, if any of y'all,
I'm not an expert on it.
and you can kiss my butt. If any of you guys know anyone from Enway who's working on this game, tell them to tweet me at @TheReckless_Fox and find me on Twitter. And find me and Jen on Facebook.com/Morphin Network. And our YouTube page, Morphin Network on YouTube. There you go. Alright, I think we're done talking about Power Rangers. We gotta move on, because we got some depressing.
You were gushing about Power Rangers for a while.
You're damn right. Hey, X-Force, you gush a lot about Samurai Kagura. I don't say anything
Not
about
really.
it.
I just use it as a subject.
Cough.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Okay, I know Boken loves Samurai Kagura too, so alright. Hey there, enjoyed the video? If you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to hit the bell icon, because YouTube's algorithm is still a straight dumpster fire. Now, if you want more information or any more updates on my new videos that are going to be coming out, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @TheReckless_Fox. And you can follow me on twitch.tv/RecklessFox, where I do all my live playthroughs and live reviews of television and movies with the rest of my friends. Speaking of which, if you want some more content, you want to scratch that itch and, fill that void, and when I'm not doing any new videos, you can follow SoundCloud.com/ScrubClub Gaming. That's SoundCloud.com/ScrubClub Gaming, where episodes of the Scrub Club Podcast are now up, as well as new episodes of the Scrub Lounge. Till then, keep on working things $20 or less. Peace!